I already used my jokes. I got nothing.
Yeah, we're no material. There's nothing left.
So I'm just looking at this blank teleprompter and this. We're out of jokes, people. Out of jokes. So what are we doing today, Jens?
Oh, we're this is the last day of the Pro Tour Gauntlet for Pro Tour Eldritch Moon, which was in Sydney. It was in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. Shit, I'm done.
Australia only has no cities. It only has Ayers Rock. So
Pro Tour Airs Rock.
Pro Tour Ayers
Airs Rock.
Rock.
So yeah, this is the Gauntlet from Pro Tour Airs Rock, and constructed tournaments. Pro
Or
Tour.
Pro Tour Uluru if you're a local.
Yeah, I don't know how many. There's definitely a contingent of players who were the locals, but
Uh, Nobody with style, though, since of the decks, I do not think Pact Cat is one we're allowed to play.
sadly no, because that was a deck that became real last weekend at the Grand Prix rather than at the Pro Tour. We have, it looks like, 11 different decks available to us. That's it? There's only 11 on the list? Yep.
Looking for the... There we go. I found my articles
gonna-
through Google and not through... and not through the website. Hey, I beat you out.
Nice. Oh, on my side, I beat you out.
That's subjective experience. Welcome to Earth.
There's
Let's
no
see
way
what
to
we
tell.
got here. Control deck. A sort of control deck. Okay, a mid-range deck. A mid-range deck. What do you call a ramp deck? Because it's not control,
That's hard.
but it's not really like mid-range. I guess it's like technically a mid-range deck. It just they happen to be casting 13 mana spells.
Well, nobody actually ever casts a 13 mana spell. You casted a 7 mana spell that says 13 in the corner.
Yeah.
We're not. No, not yet, Mighty Dictron. That hasn't happened yet. Don't worry.
Oh boy, I hope we get Howling Mine.
Yeah, there's a Howling Mine.
Turbo Fog, like in Strahd back in the day. You want to have fun? No, we don't do that here.
I love that there's a deck that plays Thermo Alchemist.
It's a good pinger, man.
Oh, I don't know. It's just like 3 in the afternoon. It seems to be a time where I'm not conflicting with anybody else.
Oh no, Kirby's Advocate, no.
Mmm.
And Jonathan Frankel, which sounds like
Jonathan
that sounds
Frakes?
like Jonathan Frakes and crap. What's that Magic Cards guy's name?
John Finkel?
Yeah, John Finkel and Jonathan Frakes. Step got warped together, like Neelix and the other guy.
Tuvok.
Who's not Spock.
Tuvok.
Tuvox and Neelix, Telix or whatever they called it. That's him, Jonathan Frankel.
Yeah, but yeah, like 3 in the afternoons, like at least as of late, has just been an easier time for me. So,
And this event probably won't run for 3 hours.
well, it's a Swiss.
Probably won't run for...
Likely not. There's like we're not talking about a lot of like looking at the decks. There aren't a ton that are like, yo, let's go to time. I'm kind of stunned.
That's the other meld card, is Jonathan Franks and Finn Finkel.
So I'm not familiar with a couple of these decks at all. Like the Naya Legendary one is completely new to me.
They picked an actual mono-white humans aggro deck, which
Yeah, I was gonna say
I guess real, but like dishonest.
Mighty Nictron, like Zendikar isn't until tomorrow. It says Pro Tour. It says Standard Gauntlet. This is. I cannot possibly do Zendikar today. It is not legal for me to do so.
see. Okay, Chandra, Nahiri, Bruna, Dragonlord, Tarka, Gisela. I know why they picked this deck. This is probably 7-2-1. They did well, but they. This is a deck that just happened. That it's a deck that did reasonably well. That they get to show off Gisela, Bruna combining.
Well, all right, we are playing. Oh man, we are playing Emerge here. This is this just flat Owens?
Yeah, Owen Turtenwald. Or does he say Turtenwald? I'm going to say Turtenwald because that means Turtlewoods in my head.
All right, so this is a deck that is playing Delirium here. So we have our Delirium enablers that are all our early game stuff: Grapple with the Past, Gather the Pack, Festival of Decency. Also
And look at
playing
that Pilgrim's Eye!
Pilgrim's Eye is in here for both mana fixing and for doing
Yeah.
artifact in the yard. I don't think I don't think there's any immediate changes I want to make as far as like main side goes. Emrakul good enough for standard. Abyss Hunted. Emrakul is incredibly good.
Yeah.
So
The thing to remember is that there's still a Cultivate in the format.
okay, yeah. Emrakul is incredible in standard because. Okay, so as far as like the cards that are really good in standard from Eldritch Moon, there's like something like 3 dozen. The set has a ton of really powerful cards. But the two that like are really big are Emrakul and Liliana. Liliana I wasn't super big on, but is quite good from playing. Emrakul I was super big on because everyone saw 13 mana, 13, 13. This ain't 13 mana. She doesn't cost 13 mana. She costs like 7.
Mm-hmm. There's that cast line there. I don't think we want to make any changes. The one thing I would maybe think is like Shaman, but I don't think we need it.
Nah.
We don't know what we're up against. We're playing 1-1 3/3s. We're playing. Get to Gather the Pack and do again. We're playing 4x Cultivate.
Gather the Pack is look at top 5, pick a creature out of them, and put it in your hand, or put 2 in your hand if you have Spell Mastery, which is basically always. We are relying on Kozilek's Return plus the triggers, which we have 7 ways to trigger to stay alive against like aggressive decks, because that's kind of our way of we can do that sort of thing.
I don't know. EDM is pretty powerful as far as music genres go. It's really high energy Abyss Hunted. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, it's really quick. It's really it gets your blood pumping. That's
yeah. And if you add a little Euro to it,
ooh,
just a little bit, suddenly you're able to multi-track drift.
Give us that Euro beat.
I hate Wretched Griff, but it's okay.
It's a one again. It's in here as a like 7th way to.
Wait, we have Coax of the Blind Eternities, but no Eldrazi in our sideboard.
No, the idea is that you board in Coax against players playing Infinite Obliteration to Cranial Extract your Emrakul.
Yeah, right.
That's the entire point of.
I guess Utter End is also in the.
Utter End can't target Emrakul, so good luck with that one. Alright, so Chem Master 07. So this is going to be... I probably should have taken a little closer look at the mana base. This is a very slow hand that does very little.
It's got Typhoid Rats in it. I don't like it, though. Having Emrakul in your hand is kind of distinct, though.
I'm fine with Emrakul in the hand if this had like a Vessel or a Gather the Pack or Grapple with like some way to get cards in the yard, but it has none of that. I'm gonna mulligan.
Typhoid Rats ain't good enough. Oh, how about the opposite problem?
Oh boy. We're dead. Cool.
Cape.
Cool.
We got it, kids.
Cool.
See, Pilgrim's Eye will... Okay, we're playing Bad Company or whatever. Shot the food.
Cool. Yeah,
Sly 09 shot the food. Who plays Oath of Vanessa? Let's find out. Naya Legendary.
Oh dear. All right. On the plus side, that isn't a fast deck.
Sure enough, on the downside, it is playing an Avacyn. Funnily enough, only playing one.
Well,
Uh,
it's one of all these. The entire point is the Thalia's Lancer in the deck.
mhm. It's a pretty big Jerkwood boars that. Oh, great, more land. I guess we need those. We gotta rely on Pilgrim's Eye.
Pilgrim's Eye is a cool card. I'm gonna go grab I'm gonna like Pilgrim's Eye. Okay, Sylvan Advocate. Yep. So Pilgrim's Eye. Yep. More land. Is gonna go grab a mountain. Again, we're not being run down. We just don't have any action at all. Like literally nothing. I need like
If we can we need like an emerge creature, because at this point we can cast most of them, even like a Wretched Griff.
yeah.
Like a Wretched Griff to like Nephalia Sea Kite, that Sylvan Advocate would be fine.
Uh.
Yeah, Pilgrim Eyes die, Emrakul costs 11.
It would be hard to do that without flash on Wretched Griff.
Well, you emerge.
Emerge doesn't give flash.
Oh, you were lying to me then, because you said it was
I said it was like offering.
Okay, I hate emerge again.
Like half of them just have flash, like Elder Deep Fiend.
You're only a couple turns late.
This might just be mill 3 too. Oh, there's a Wretched Griff. Or do I want Gnarlwood Dryad here?
Just make a 3 mana, what you call Typhoid Rats, or do we want to like?
Because the Typhoid Rats like blocks the Tireless Tracker and keeps it at home. The Wretched Griff we can't cast, but gets us
A card.
a card. I'm gonna go with Staying Alive. So let's play the Forest, play that. We are at 3 card types. This will have +2/+2 on the Death of the Pilgrim's Eye. So. What do you want?
Nice, not blocking.
Sylvan Advocate is an incredibly pushed card. Like, that's the only answer I have for you is Sylvan Advocate was pushed very, very hard as far as its power level.
And it just isn't it an old man?
Yeah.
I like cards with old people on them, so I'm okay with this card.
Glowing left hand and like I don't know, a trowel.
A half between a trowel and a Cinquentia.
Yeah.
That's Italian for 5 fingers. That's been your swords lesson today.
What's our delirium count? 3 card types.
It tells you.
Oh, this is good. Our opponent's in a digging mood, which means they are. I'm happy about.
Or maybe they're just going to declare that Gnarlwood Dryad dies. And
I should pull their list back up again.
they are playing Declaration in Stone, 4X.
Be fine with that.
And,
Stasis Snare.
Lots of sorcery speed stuff happening with these flash type abilities. Well, looks like we're taking 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Grapple's pretty good here. Because we can get back the Wretched Griff regardless of what I pick up off of this. I'm going to go ahead and grapple with the past. Because, like, I can pick up Wretched Griff. Ooh, Ishkana. I can't cast Ishkana, but man, would that be good at getting... Because that is Delirium with the Corrupted Graphstone in the yard.
Yeah. The only problem I see is that Tireless Tracker is going to rapidly become too big to kill.
No, that's fine. Like, the idea there is that I play Ishkana for a bunch of chump blockers,
Yep, that seems fine.
and then, like, the idea of getting rid of Tireless Tracker is somehow using Emrakul to do so, and by that I mean playing Emrakul and attacking with Tireless Tracker.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Right,
think we pick up the spider here then.
because, like, if I can pick up Wretched Grift, play it, draw a card by sacking the Pilgrim's Eye. God, yeah, I'm gonna pick up Ishkana here. This is... And
Okay.
I'm just gonna chump block with Pilgrim's Eye. It might actually be chump blocking a Needle Spires if my opponent plays an untapped red source.
Ew.
Because untapped red source is 6th land, +2/+2 for the Needle Spires. Yep!
Okay.
Alright.
So that's a 4/3 double strike, right?
Yeah, luckily it's 4 to activate, leaving them only 1 mana up if they choose to go that route. They don't have any other hasty threats looking at their list. I guess Chandra Flamecaller would be a hasty threat, but...
Do you have any instants in the yard? Or is it just sorceries?
You know, I just realized that it never told me what that Oath of Nissa grabbed.
Oh, we're fucked.
I was just gonna go back and look and see if it was just supposed to be a known thing that, like, Chandra was coming. Anyway, we auto lose to that because Ishkana doesn't even give us enough chump blockers anymore. So we block Sylvan Advocate and take 10, and then I play Ishkana, and then our opponent has 5 attackers next turn. So it's completely meaningless. Yeah. Which, and the Wretched Grift does even less to help us out there.
So we need to somehow make a lot of blockers and also kill both his creatures and his land. And Forest does not do that.
No, honestly, what we needed to do was not mold the 4, but for a mold of 4, I'm feeling really good with how this, like, how the deck played out. Like,
yeah, we did pretty decent for a Moldifor.
Yeah.
Cat Pack doesn't exist. I'm sorry, Cuboid. They don't do Star City gauntlets.
No.
Although they should. They should just come out and admit at this point that, okay.
Declaration in Stone is one of the best ways to deal with Ishkana, because you get rid of all the blockers and no clues, because it says non-token on it for the Investigate. Anyway, so let's move on to 2. And honestly...
let's look at our sideboard.
Yeah, let's take a look at the board here. So... what is good in this world? Like...
If he's... Let's take a look at their deck. Mostly creature feature. They're playing 1x Nahiri, 1x Chandra.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see...
No, these are not going to be things we want.
Yeah, those aren't as good, because they have... Like, you can count... They play 0 instants. So the removal is exile, so Dead Protector's a little less good. Clipwing could actually be decent. I'm looking at these creatures they have, and almost all of their really high-value creatures have flying.
I kind of like the clip wings. What do we want out for that?
Oh, how much damage does Return do on the Flash?
5.
Okay, that's probably worth...
It's huge. It would have been enough to get us back into that game if I had...
Maybe like a Gather or...
A Pilgrim's Eye? I'd rather be casting Gather than Pilgrim's Eye a lot of the times.
Yeah, I feel Pilgrim's Eye is a little important for the artifact clause, and it is like ramp, but I can feel that's fine. The Clipwings is just here to do stuff like kill a Tarka, kill Dramoka, kill
Avacyn,
Gisela, Linvala, like that sort of thing. Like,
there are a lot of high priority flying targets, and there's nothing bad that this hits. Like, there's no dodging it with a 1/1 token.
Or Avacyn. Yeah.
Their sideboard has a lot more,
I could bring in Gideon. I could bring in Quarantine Field.
I was gonna say they have a lot more walkers on their board. I'm just gonna run it back with this. The Fiery Impulse is the other card I was considering.
Get a
Like
shock. Just to try to catch
Tireless Tracker.
Tyler's tracker with the trigger on the stack.
Okay, see this is different. I can
Yeah, this has action. This is a turn. This is plays.
like Vessel is the card that I want to have on one, because even like though this is a 5-land hand, the Vessel should give me action.
Yeah, the vessel hits basically every card in our deck that isn't a instant or sorcery, but we kind of want those in the yard anyways. Yeah, that was sort of my thoughts on it, Doogie. But Clip Wings, I feel, is like a fine. It's something we could make.
It definitely could have. It definitely could have been just taking out like one of the grapples. Like I didn't want to take out the Gather the Pack because that's a really good enabler, but the like cutting down on the other part there would have been just fine.
Hmm.
Okay. Also, do I have a
Stop on damage?
No. Here it is. Oh my god. I have a stop on my opponent's end combat from like way too long ago.
We can pass.
Yep. Reactive. This is good. We should be able to catch a Tireless Tracker with this if they play it on 3.
Or in a million turns, we can catch a Needle Spire.
Maybe. If it doesn't have backup, you know. Alright, so Vessel's going to mill us. Okay, that gets us a turn 3, a Pilgrim's Eye for 3.
And Clipwing gets to put an instant in the yard. This is fine.
Yep. I could grab Gnarlwood Dryad and it's just a 4/4. Or a 3/3. Sorry,
3/3,
yeah. 3/3. But I kind of like actually playing the Pilgrim's Eye here.
That seems fine. Either one is good to me. I guess if you want to start putting pressure, you pick the Gnarlwood.
I'm gonna grab the Pilgrim's Eye for the eventual emerge. Oh boy, alright.
Okay. We'll get Pilgrim's Eye to die due to Kozilek's return. It'll be fine.
If we're lucky, it gets like chump block a Sylvan Advocate, and then I kill the Sylvan Advocate with return.
What do we grab here? We have a double red spell, but
we can't.
no double green spells.
Well, we can't grab a. There isn't a second mountain in the deck.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. So, none of that.
What do you got?
Nissa Vastwood Seer. Okay.
Grey Ogre that is going to die.
Yep. Fine by me. They're just attempting to do the... That's better. That's my card, but better.
Yeah, why isn't this list running Nissa, I don't think.
Artifact. Artifact.
Alright, that's basically it.
So, let's go ahead and gather the pack. Oh, hi. Alright.
We found our next play.
Also, we're up to 5 card types, which will be 6 when Pilgrim's Eye dies, so...
It's as if Emrakul is going to cost 7 mana.
Yep. Fine by me. Yeah, mainly Artifact. That's the big reason this is even in the... Okay, Tireless Tracker, and I'm going to be just playing Kozilek's Return. Like... Come on. They get 2 clues, but they don't get to grow the Tireless Tracker, so...
Yeah. Plus, if they want to spend time cracking clues, I'm probably okay with that. So we attack with the Pilgrim's Eye, and then...
Yeah.
Just do it. Just sorcery speed it. because he has 2 clues, he couldn't catch him.
Yep. There's a chance we'd catch him, but for one, it's impossible for us to catch him because, like, we showed him Ishkana. Like,
Yeah.
our opponent knows exactly what's going to be happening. Anyway, let's play Pyroclasm.
The next turn, probably Ishkana, and then the turn following Emrakul.
Yep. Which should be quite good. I wonder what my opponent's 5 threat will be here.
Nothing.
They have a forest in hand. Like, what are they digging for? Another Nisovastrid Sphere.
Another forest, it turns out.
Yeah, okay, this flips on 7, so we're safe for next turn.
And then it'll die when we cast Emrakul.
Uh-huh. Do I want to cash Ishkana then?
Is it a May?
It is a May.
Like, we could say no and then just force Nissa to attack into our creatures. It really depends what our opponent does here. Like, maybe we just don't play Ishkana then. Kind of force their hand.
No, I'm gonna do it. Like, the thing here is that, like, I can just kill my opponent's creatures by forcing them to run into Ishkana.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's not dance around it.
Spiders!
Spiders. The other reason I was thinking about not spending it here would be so that my opponent has a bunch of removal still stuck in their hand for Emrakul turn. But I'm expecting they want to advance their board position. Yeah, they want to advance their board position.
See what they grab.
This is really good. Have I ever resolved a Mindslaver on Magic Online?
I don't think so. I think we picked Mindslaver like once and then didn't play it.
Like, I'm thinking back through all these cubes. Okay, Gisela the Broken Blade.
They want the lifelink. Maybe.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. So, I get to force them to attack into Emrakul with both their creatures, so they'll lose both their creatures to Emrakul. So I don't need to flashback the thing. We've been mind-slaved, yeah, but I mean more like from a... Have we seen the... Like, how Magic Online deals with this? And then I'm gonna say no to this. So...
Let's hope they have a bunch of removal spells in hand. Like, if we could do something like, force them to play their guys, and then...
Well, we have a kill...
Guys.
These are both dead. Like, these are...
Yeah, those are dead. Yeah.
Also, like, I have lethal damage back at them on the board. So, if they have anything like Stasis Snare and such, I'm just going to spend those immediately on the Thalia's Lancer / Nissa Vastwood Seer, because I want them not to be able to answer the Emrakul. They didn't leave up Stasis Snare mana, so it's not like, you know, they're going to Stasis Snare Emrakul now. Alright. They have a
Now we're waiting for them.
Quarantine Field.
You want to cast that?
They have Bruna and Chisella in hand.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. You could play a Tarka and force it to not kill. Tarka can't kill himself.
Yeah. I don't like just giving them a free. I like the idea of Quarantine Field, the, like, clue token, and the, like, Oath of Nissa, and then have both their creatures attack in. Or I could Quarantine Field for 0 and have their creatures attack in, and then, like, play this Oath of Nissa and have it miss. Yeah, it's a May.
Mhm.
So,
I think first things first is we force the attack.
that's not how this Mindslaver works. Like they get a
They get an extra turn after we do this.
wow, that's seriously opponent controls. Yeah, I'm glad that Zero's the best play for this, though. I wanted to hit their clue token, though. Anyway, Quarantine Field for Zero is still the best. Run their team in, waste their Oath Anissa, don't make the land drop. Actually, hold on. Can I kill their Needle Spires?
4 to attack in. So if you play if you play that land, you can.
Yeah, but this isn't a May trigger. I don't want that on the field.
I don't think we can. We can't post-combat kill the Needle Spire, so no, I don't think so.
And they don't have enough white mana for me to activate the Needle Spire. Like, there isn't even a white mana in hand. Like,
so I think we just.
Yeah. Like, there's a couple things that are the obvious plays here. I'm looking at like what I want to do to burn the most value out of everything else. So, I'm not gonna just make plays willy nilly here. Yeah, so Quarantine Field. I'll play Oath first.
Let's just see what happens.
Well, it's the only thing that could add options to our... So we get rid of this Oath.
What happens to the cards we don't pick?
Bottom of deck.
And Stasis Snare is also opponent controls.
Yeah, wow. They've like idiot-proofed all the cards. We can't grab the planes to do everything because now I don't have the double white for the Quarantine Field. Like, because I tapped the one forest, I don't have the ability to do everything.
Let's just do the best we can then.
Okay, well, let's just hit OK and pass then. Yeah. Okay, we want the planes there. Stasis Snare, Sylvan Advocate. So Q Field for 0 and attack in. Okay.
Okay.
Press cancel to undo this action. Like,
okay. This is fine. I just wanted to trigger Constellation.
yeah. So we go to combat, free attacks.
Okay.
It keeps eating my clicks there. That's getting annoying.
They want you to fuck this up. It's like how they put it in just to make this harder for both players.
Oh no, it's not eating them. I have priority for both players. God.
You have to click twice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right, then
okay.
We don't make a land drop because there's no point to it.
Anyways, then we just don't do anything and our opponent gets a turn.
Well, they're gonna play like Bruna, Fading Light, getting back Thalia's Lancers is the best board state builder.
Then we attack with a 13/13. This deck has no black sources, does it?
No.
So it kind of has no abilities other than to be like a Cloud Gate Ranger.
Which I'm fine with. Okay, so they have one unknown card in hand and the 6 cards we know. I assume... I would like them to actually pop that clue because that means they can't make their...
It means you're playing Bruna, I guess.
Right, they can't make their 7 drop. Now, however, that does mean that they could be trying to play towards, Oh, wow. You're seriously going to play the one card I didn't... Oh, okay. I don't know why you play Fortified Village there, because it's the one card I don't know about. Like,
We didn't know about that oath in this either, though. What happened?
the clue token. 2 cards.
Oh, yeah, Emrakul is a really good way to timer scam yourself.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's the... Seriously, you're not going to tell me what the card is? God, stop doing that.
Cinderglade, okay. Opponent just does jack and shit, and we are going to...
Attack for lethal?
They only draw 2 cards, and we saw both of them, so they could
Yeah.
have played Bruna there to, like, life's linked,
Yeah.
to not die.
They can't activate the Needle Spires to block.
I mean, they had to do something.
And it said Cinderglade was the card from Oath and Nissa, right?
Waiting to pay costs. Are they going to tap the Needle Spire to activate the Needle Spire?
I think they thought they could activate the Needle Spire. I think they miscounted their mana remaining. By the way, Yeah, alright. Okay, so anyway, that's the power of Emrakul. Like, that I played a 13-13 for 7 that said your opponent attacks their team into your team, loses their team, and then -2s themselves. Like,
That was a 4 for 1 on the whole.
on a 13-13.
Any changes to make?
I'm gonna make that change I talked about. Any other changes worth doing? I mean, is Fiery Impulse worth it?
It basically only hits Tireless Tracker.
Well, no. Assume 3 damage is always on. Like,
Okay, then it hits Gisela, Sylvan Advocate, Tracker. Hits a fair amount.
I would say even without it being on, it hits both Nissa and Tracker.
So, what do we do for that?
Like, is that worth handing in here? And I think it is.
Like maybe the Griff?
No, I like the Griff just because of the Kozilek's return
There's a
triggering.
way to do that. That's the only reason the deck's in here. Put out for that.
Let's take out one more grapple and put in a Fiery Impulse.
Good to go, coach.
1. Well, I left the thread of it up in game 2. Hyper garbage.
I love garbage. I eat it every day.
What's with these hands that are 5 lands and no business? Like, this doesn't... Okay, this works. Also willing to keep that one on top.
Yeah, because we want, we want stuff. Pilgrimage is good. Do we lead? I think do we lead with the Vessel, or do we lead with the Dryad here?
I think we lead Vessel because there's not going to have a play that's, like, attacking us on 1.
I guess we'll see if they have the Advocate on turn 2, and then we can just withhold the Vessel if we desperately want to make a trade. But I suspect our opponent's going to play a tapped land and pass.
Yeah, that seems to be their thing. Yeah, they definitely... Whoever built this deck had Emrakul very much in mind. Because, like, Stasis Snare and Quarantine Field just ignore, like, Emrakul.
Yeah, the Elder Deep Fried. An untapped land.
Oh,
With
there
the
it
Sylvan
is.
Advocate popping out of it. Okay.
Yep. Still debating if it's worth popping the vessel first. Because
If we don't, we'll see what we draw and then kind of play by ear there. Problem with the Vessel is that there's not going to be a good time to pop it from here on out.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want to take the pop on it first, especially because it might just get me the Nissa's Pilgrimage, like, going. Hey, red source. Good.
And we can
I think I'm just gonna...
play that and then hold up Shock and pop Vessel at whatever your opportunity.
Yeah.
Now watch me depriving you double blue for that Elder Fiend on this turn. Uh, completely ozone us. Now taking 2 doesn't own us.
Right. That's basically it. Like, it is taking 2 ruin us, and like I'd rather set up than like stop 2 damage.
You've missed like an entire conversation, Abyss Hunted. This eyeball box in a cake, what do you call that? A cake globe? Yeah, that globe was made to hold a cake, right?
This had to have been made to hold a cake.
Or like a pie at like a diner.
Okay, they actually don't have an untapped third, which is good.
Does it have another Sylvan Advocate to swap at us?
Ugh, yikes. I kind of don't like the idea of, like, that many Sylvan Advocates, but what you gonna do?
Who knows?
Let's hope not. Sweet. Okay. So, Vessel, top 4. I like likes.
I like likes.
I like
Likes are
likes.
scary.
Yeah. Alright.
Watch this just whiff and put like shock, clip wings.
Well, we did put two
close.
We did put 2 instants and sorceries in there.
Yes, sir. Now this is Pilgrimage. What does that do on the spell mastery? Is it
gets
just
3. You grab 3 forests.
okay? So it just cultivate +1.
Yeah. Alright, we got a bunch of Elder Deep Fiends. That's basically what the Gnarlwood Dryad is for. So, I want to... Oh, God, funny enough, we don't have instant in the yard, so we don't have
Delirium.
yeah. So I'm going to play the Off Coast, and then we're going to go up to 7 cards in hand. Choose one of these. It's important. The illusion of choice is yours. Like,
Cultivate's pretty cool.
would really like to draw or like another graveyard enabler to put a Kozilek's Return down there for when I flash this down.
I would also accept a Pilgrim's Eye.
What's your 4, buddy? Gideon, okay.
Terrifying.
Well, finally next turn is the Gnarlwood Dryad turn. Now, the cool thing about Gnarlwood Dryad passing the turn, leaving 4 up, is that, like, any instant threatens Delirium right now?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not trivial for our opponent to just be like, yeah, attack in and trade. Pilgrim's Eye, huh?
They play the Gnarlwood. Play the Pilgrim's Eye holding up shock.
Mm-hmm. Let me go grab Island. If there are 2 islands in this list. I don't remember if that is true or not.
With the number of double blue, I think there must be at least another island.
Yeah, that's 3. Alright. Also, on Pilgrim's Eye's death, our Gnarlwood Dryad gets big, so that's good.
That's probably what the following turn is going to be, is like a in middle of combat cast an Elder Deep Fiend.
Probably it might be mid-combat, might be pre-combat as a cryptic too. But I think mid-combat works. Because
It's a big enough guy that makes Gnarlwood. Okay, man, it does not make Gnarlwood Dryad a 3/3.
No, nothing makes Gnarlwood Dryad a 3/3. Now, however, I can't. I'm not gonna chump block with. Ooh, God. All right, whatever. I can't like catch Gideon with the tap. So
Yeah, Gideon is. Okay.
So, how do you feel about casting Cryptic Command like 6 turns in a row?
I like that pretty fine when it's like a 5/6.
You know, we got nothing.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We just barely can't also crack the clue.
No,
If we had one more mana, we could crack the clue when we do Pilgrim's Eye.
we
Oh,
can.
Emerge is cheaper. That's right.
Emerge
Yeah,
is
so we
one cheaper.
can. We get everything, folks, but we take a damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave back the blocker for the illusion here. I could like poke for a point of damage, but I hope he goes for like a removal spell on Pilgrim's Eye. All right, so we wait for that to resolve.
And then when it goes to target, we tap everything. We tap his creatures.
And Gideon.
Oh, I'm counting him as a creature, basically.
One, two, three, four. Cool thing here, Gideon has 5 loyalty.
Yeah.
So but he does
He's
make a
going to make a. He's going to make a.
yeah.
Is it worth it to cast a Elder
Can't.
Fiend just to...
It would. The answer is yes, but we can't. Like we just can't do that unless we draw a creature and do the emerge instead, because that's 1 mana cheaper. Like
That'd be pretty cool.
anyway, I do plan on just casting Cryptic Command as long as possible until we lose this game.
I mean, I saw that beat a deck that drew too many lands, so surely it can beat our opponent's deck.
We could emerge off our existing one, but that's not what I want to the line I want.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work because that doesn't kill Gideon.
Right, we want Gideon dead. Like, the entire point of the, like... Okay, that kills Gideon.
Okay, that's more than enough to kill Gideon.
Because we just knock out the token and attack Gideon for 5. So,
Although we take some damage. Do we die if we do that?
we just emerge another Elder Deep Fiend, who cares? like whatever. Who gives a crap? I have a ton of these. Alright, so let's gather the pack. This gets 2 creatures if it sees 2. Yo, I have 2 Kozilek's returns in the yard. Now the flashing of Elder Deep Fiend in has wraths attached.
Okay, that seems just fine.
Okay, so we play this. Our one of Fiery Impulse gets to save the day.
And then Gideon dies.
Yep. I'm glad about killing Gideon.
Hopefully our opponent like pre-combat something when they go to kill us with their Sylvan Advocate and
Yeah, also
ally.
Emicrul's 7 and we have 6 mana, so do I want to Elder Deep Fiend now?
I think we...
Like pre-combat?
Does it matter? Yeah, we should so to not die.
I'm gonna do it to tap down a bunch of lands. Cast with Emerge.
See, now it's not really Elder. It's not really Cryptic Command. This is more like Yosei.
This is Mistbind Click.
God, Mistbind Click.
I can't cut you off white.
So we cut him off. Yeah, we make him tap Battlefield Forge.
Yeah. Or he can just float double white for a Stasis Snare here if he has that. I would like it to be in stone because I have 2 up.
Yeah, Declaration in stone.
Yep. Alright, so the answer is yes, we'd like to Kozilek's return. Then the answer is no, we would not like to Kozilek's return. God, this card is incredibly good, by the way, when it has a Wrath attached to it. Oh, sweet. They didn't float 4 for it. So, the crazy thing about Kozilek's return, and this gets brought up all the time, like, you don't have to decide until resolution if you're going to blow it up. So if they have something that, like, stops the Kozilek's return, they have to preemptively use it. Okay, this game is over then, right? Like,
yes, as it turns out, it is.
I'm going to attack with Elder Deep Fiend. And then I'm going to Emrakul the Promised End at my opponent.
Behold!
Okay.
No, we do not want to do this.
No, we don't want a Kozilek's return. Yeah, that's fine. And give me your next turn. Now, we only have 4 minutes, so I'm going to have to be pretty quick on wasting my opponent's value, but that shouldn't be that bad.
That shouldn't be that bad. Our opponent's removal apparently cannot target their own things anyways, so...
Oh, like... Nothing good here, right? Like, playing Tahiri...
I don't think we can do anything.
Do we just pass? Like, I don't think there's a point in playing anything on this. I could play Thalia's Lancers to waste the search.
What does,
I'm gonna do
what
that.
does Nahiri's -2 say?
Minus...
entirely?
Oh, we can exile an enchantment with it. But...
It doesn't do anything now.
Like, I'm thinking Thalia's Lancers to waste the search is basically it.
Yeah, that could be it. Like, we know what they're going to do, which is they're going to cast Nahiri and then kill Elder Deep Fiend, and then cast a blocker. But then we have another Elder Deep Fiend, which says tap target creature on it, and...
This is a bit greedy of me. No, I'd like to not use that, but I don't want that being used.
It's like flashing an Abyssin or something.
Yeah. Alright. So there's the land, which is weird, because if they're playing Nahiri, they probably want to discard that, right? Like...
I think they want to kill Elder Deep Fiend.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's cool, because that leaves Nahiri at 2.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to play like blockers. And then we just play Elder Deep Fiend and crack in.
Well, I don't even need to play Elder Deep Fiend.
Does Emrakul have evasion?
Yeah, flying.
It's hard to notice on its many lines of text. Show me the close-up of Emrakul at some point.
Don't have time to right now, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, so here's my game plan for this.
Okay, flying trample, protection from instants. Okay. You would have Nahiri kill herself?
Yes. Nahiri's going to minus to... Oh, sweet. Choose the Nahiri to keep. That one.
Then you can play that Evolving Wilds, tap it, fail to find.
I love Mindslaver effects. They're so garbage.
What one card do you have that gets you out of this? Also, we have a Cryptic Command in hand.
They'd have to draw a Stasis Snare, something like that, to kill off Emrakul.
Declaration in Stone would also work.
Yeah, like something like that. Actually, it wouldn't, because I'd just flash in Elder Deep Fiend in response. So, anyway, so
Got there, kids.
so I hope I've gotten to show you the power of Emrakul a little more. This card is a 7-mana Mindslaver that's a 13/13.
Card's rather good.
People got really stuck on the fact that it says, like, give them, oh no, you're giving your opponent 2 turns. You're not. You're taking 2 turns. It's just that the second one is their shit. Like,
Yeah, like, the one downside to it in terms of that is that they are drawing the 2 cards they get for the 2 turns. But the first card you draw just gives them more shit for you to destroy. I have to say, it works better in formats where removal is not as good.
well, it's
Or
pro.
not as...
It's pro instance.
No, I meant like removal as in... Like, all of our opponents' removal could not screw their own shit up.
Oh,
You're playing this in a
yeah.
format with Path to Exile, but yeah. I path my guy. Oh, I can't find a land. Sorry.
Whoops.
Like, do that. Say, don't even bother looking at your deck. Just shuffle it.
Yeah. You actually can pass on if you don't search with path. You don't shuffle.
Ah.
Anyway,
What's your
that was fun as hell.
Now we just get to it one more time.
I'm really glad I got to show that, because all 3 of our starts looked really awful, but all of a sudden, like, that's kind of how this deck all of a sudden turns. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a Wrath of God attached to my 5/6 Cryptic Command. Like, here's Mistbind Click, tap your lands, kill all your creatures, attack your Gideon. Like,
This is Pro Tour Gauntlet. I will show you what that means. It's this.
yep.
These
Basically,
are all decks from Pro Tour.
you join the event and get handed a random deck out of the list of 11 decks there. This one being Owen Turtenwald's
Second place deck.
second place list, the Teamer Emerge, as it's called there.
I was really hoping to get Howling Mine.
I'm happy with this one.
Oh no, Jonathan Frankel. That is not a turn 1 vessel.
I know, right? Look at how, oh my god. I mean, this hand's really good, though.
We on the play?
Yeah, we're on the play. I can't possibly draw into a thing that let me play that vessel. God. I get a turn 2 vessel. This hand sucks and also rules. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling on this one. Is it's really bad and also really good.
Like, we have too much shit to do on turn 3. There's like, we could pop the vessel, we could play a Pilgrim's Eye, we could play a Nissus Pilgrimage, which is probably what Nissus Pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Unless we want to dig with Vessel for, like, something to do.
Well, playing Pilgrimage would let me play Pilgrim's Eye. Ooh. There might be a Kozilek's return in our future.
Yeah, really glad that we have a...
Hey, Forrest.
Where were you at all my life?
So, there is a chance I might just be playing Kozilek's Return, depending on what their 2 drop, if they just play 2 1-drops.
Man, look at that Battlefield Forge.
Mm-hmm. I need to see this list.
I will find the list for this. I'll be your eyes.
They play 4 Always Watching, right?
Yes, and 3 Griff Boons.
Is this just pass with Kozilek's Return up?
Yeah, and if they don't do anything that makes us want to do that, we can just pop the vessel. Like, this seems like a pretty safe time to do that, since we have something to do.
Yeah, like if they play Always Watching, I'm just going to respond with Kozilek's Return. If they play Thalia's Lieutenant, I get to respond with Kozilek's Return and kill the Thalia's Lieutenant. If they play, like, this is much safer. Like, tapping out here would be a really good way to get myself killed. This deck plays 18 lands. I love it. Our opponent, not us. We play a lot more than 18 because we have a 13/13 in our deck that costs 7, so we need a little more than 18 lands.
And the red is just for looks like a Reckless Bushwhacker on the board and a Needle Spires.
I'm gonna take this hit.
I will take 4. See if they play a Knight of the White Orchid.
I assume in 5 cards in hand they have something. No main deck, Wow, okay, fine.
Like, do they smell it that much?
They probably do, but I'm not gonna not do it.
Like, the deck doesn't play anything that costs more than 2 mana that is not always watching.
I'm gonna
so
play...
they have something.
I think Pilgrim's Eye is today's play.
Yeah. And we have another Kozilek's return. We have 3 Kozilek's returns secretly.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it?
Um...
I love our secret thousands of Kozilek's returns. That's how you beat the aggro deck, is you just Kozilek's return at them 16 times.
There's Knight of the White
Hey!
Orchid. Card advantage on an aggro card.
This is the reason they play 18 lands, by the way. They can get away
I know
with
you
it.
love that card, personally.
I love it.
How many Kozilek's return?
I'm gonna pass the turn now. Kozilek's here! Again! What the hell? Kozilek, get out of the house!
Play like a Griff Spoon. Do it. Do it!
They gotta,
Or
like...
try to tap your Gossip Monger or something. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Cool.
Do that, then kill his creatures with Elder Deep Fiend.
Yeah. I love Elder Deep Fiend. This card is so silly.
Transform as his guy, but it still dies.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I'd like to wrath your board.
Okay.
How do you feel about, like, Crack Vessel?
I feel Crack Vessel is great, because it
actually,
might give us a card to play.
Actually, maybe it's just play Nessa's Pilgrimage and go with that.
Okay, that's fine. I was sort of thinking the Vessel because it could draw a creature, but Nessa's Pilgrimage is also good.
Let's me leave up Kozilek's return, too.
That it does.
The big reason I didn't care too badly about burning the Kozilek's return was that, like, I have multiple backup returns at the moment.
Yeah, we have 4 Kozilek's returns in our hand.
Yeah.
Vessel does not power up.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Oh, he can.
Yes, it can. So I'm doing it in this way for a couple reasons. Like, yes, I got 1 less forest, but this leaves up the ability to do Kozilek's return right now. I realize Always Watching is up, but there's still a lot of 1 toughness creatures in this deck. Dragon Hunter, Expedition Envoy, Anointer of Champions, Kithian, things like that. I'll take a clue. That's fine. I could, like, Elder Deep... No, I don't care. I'll take a clue.
Now, do we pop Vessel or do we pop the clue?
I'm gonna pop the Vessel, finally. And there's Expedition Envoy. So, again, a 2 toughness thing so that I can Kozilek's return it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Vessel. I'll take a Gnarlwood Dryad here.
We're going to grab it off Vessel and then not play it. If we draw land.
Probably still gonna play it.
Yeah. Because it lets us emerge the Deep Fiend.
Yeah, if I wanted to. It also, like, auto-trades with this if I want. I'm willing to just take 3 from this if he attacks.
Yeah, we're not under that much pressure right now. Also, it lives through Kozilek's return. It's a 3/3.
Yes. So I'm going to take this hit. Mostly this is just me trying to bait out a little more value out of Kozilek's return. It is 3 free damage, I realize, but I want to get a little bit more value out of Kozilek's return. And we are going to get it.
And we got it. Let's see if they got anything else. You got a Griff Spoon for us? They do not.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take our free kill.
And then we get to draw a card.
Okay. I can cast that. Yeah.
Seems fine, coach.
Alright, let's...
Behold!
Nah. Give me your turn. Now, the thing is, there's not a lot in this deck I can actually, like...
Do you want to attack with Narwa Dryad?
Thought about it, and then I just didn't.
You could play Thalia's Lieutenant, and then...
Declaration it?
Yeah.
The thing is, he's got Declaration on Emrakul no matter what. Because he's got 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around that.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the best we have with what tools
Also,
we are given.
remember to make him take damage from his Battlefield Forge.
Mm-hmm. More importantly, because it puts him on 13.
It does.
I'm not gonna Declaration my Dryad. Like, basically there weren't 2 targets for Declaration in Stone, so. Like, if it was an instant, I could have double casted at Gnarlwood Dryad, and that would have just been, like, the game flat. Anyway. So, our opponent has Declaration in Stone on Emrakul, which is the obvious play.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to draw a card to look for anything. They're going to...
Declaration in
Stone on Emrakul, okay. And then we're going to... Okay.
I'm just gonna kill that. I'm just gonna spend another Kozilek's return.
We can also draw a card and play the Grafstone.
Mm-hmm. And play the no, sorry, it comes in play tapped.
Yep. I guess, do you want to draw a card or do you want to Gnarlwood Dryad?
I want the Dryad.
That's extremely fair.
Clock is better here. 0 cards in our opponent's hand. This game's over, but...
And this game's definitely over. Like, they go
our opponent doesn't play. Our opponent doesn't play like a big value creature.
Yeah, their whole idea is that they're going to run you down before you can do anything. They just happen to be playing a deck that plays so many copies of Flame Wave, and Flame Wave that is also how do you say? Okay. Do I just, like...
Pass?
Yeah, pass, and then, like, his upkeep, tap all his lands and his guy?
Nah. I want to get that final card out of his hand. I'm going to take 3. I know his list. He doesn't have any way to make that a lethal 3 or anything like that.
He doesn't have, nah.
Now I'm going to...
You're going to remerge it?
Yep.
So we can draw a card. Hooray!
Yeah. So I made a misstep where I missed an attack with a Gnarlwood Dryad, and that's about it. You cannot flash. I could have flashed the Fiend for 8. Yeah, whatever. I wanted the idea was that I was looking at the clue. to be entirely honest with you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Corrupted Grafstone is really bad, but it's still the most playable.
Hangerback Walker. So how many Kozilek's okay, so Fiery Impulses are coming in. It's kind of a necessity.
Negate doesn't do anything. Actually, Negate kills a Always Watching, I guess.
If I have it up.
It is our only way to kill that card.
Yeah, we don't even have any, like... What do we not want? So our opponent has, like... Fogs... Some... Removal that we can't stop because it's Stasis Snare... Needle Spires, and Reckless Bushwhacker.
Silk Wrap doesn't do anything.
Is it Grapples? Like, Grapple is the one I always feel like is the least effective out of these, but, like, it also is a regrowth for just picking up, like, a Shikana.
How about, like, either 1x Grapple, 1x Gather, or maybe, like, one of the Cultivates? I don't know. That's probably fine.
The impulses are necessary in the sense of I just want to... I don't feel like Grapple is the best of them, personally. I think it's the second best of them.
Can we have a capable 7?
Yes, and while I can't play Game Trail...
We lead with Yav Coast.
Yeah, we have to lead with the Yav Coast.
It's not a deck that can, like, especially do super well against 1-for-1 removal. That's this cheap, too.
Yeah, so...
I guess unless he goes Griff Boon here, then we're a little bit chunked, but...
I'm fine taking the 1-for-1 trade.
Same.
Like, I could, like, try and rely
we have ways to draw cards. They don't.
Well, the cool thing here is that, like, if I just play Grapple onto... Oh, neither White Orchid, no value. Alright. So my idea here is...
Grapple on 2, then Coast on 3.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Especially since the Dryad does nothing against a first striking creature.
Unless it's a 3/3.
Although it currently is not and cannot be.
Right. Well, it can. Grapple can mill, like, the cards to make it. Right. Next.
But would you want to rely on that? Though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm saying in future turns it is possible.
I would rely on that to make a trade not a trade. I wouldn't rely on that to make a not chump a trade. Or it would turn a chump into into like a chew. Is that what it's called when you block and kill something with no loss? A chew? What's the opposite of a chump?
Oh man, I'm super happy here because that means it's not him playing
Always Watching.
Always Watching, which would be bad. I assume he's gonna flood board here.
Draco Hunter.
Sweet.
Gideon.
So Kozilek's return is gonna be nice. He's got that going.
So at the very least, we get a Dryad back from this. Maybe we get something better.
So let's see what we get back. Pick up an Elder Deep Fiend. Or a Wretched... I feel like an Elder Deep Fiend is pretty cool.
I also feel that.
Because we already have a Dryad. Wretched Griff is slightly cheaper. That would let me emerge it on 5 if need be. I'll go with the Elder Deep Fiend. I believe in that card.
Same.
So
we'll draw stuff to do.
Can I finally draw a forest yet?
No.
Alright. Damage it is. Pain lands. Just keep doing it.
Eat it.
Feeling very good about that, though. That's pretty dang powerful.
We call the old 3-for-1.
But especially if they played a land... Oh my god, land pass?
So, this is not a deck that should land pass. Well, we get...
I'm literally just playing the stupid game trail and playing an Arwood Dryad. Like, I'm so sick of not having a green source. So we actually don't have 4 card types yet. We have instant.
Well, the moment Vessel dies, we have it.
Yes. So if he plays untapped red source, like, okay, so Thalia's Lieutenant. Fine with Thalia's Lieutenant. Because it's a 1-1 right now, and he only has 2 cards left in hand, so it can't really get that big. Bushwhacker. Okay.
Not a human.
I'm gonna block that. Yeah, I feel okay on that. How much is the emerge on? Actually, do I want to block that?
The merge is 7. We have 4, 5, 6.
I'm holding back because I want to be able to. It'll be a 3/3 when I pop the vessel, you know? So. Vessel. Yeah. Pop vessel. Another Narwood Dryad, huh? Or
Do we want that, or do we want, like, Ishkana for next turn?
I'm gonna grab the one that seals the game.
Yeah, that's always the choice, isn't it? Do I grab what I can immediately play, or something that,
Yeah, like the big
pick.
thing is my life total's 12. My opponent had 1 card in hand there, and the inability to use that. Like, so yeah, play's always watching, but he can't attack with Thalia's Lieutenant.
Yeah, he can attack. Bushwhacker's probably coming in. Do not care, though. We will take 3 damage. Or will we, if we're playing Ishkana.
I'm just gonna get it off the table. I realize I have reach with Ishkana. So Ishkana is also really good for, like, the Elder Deep Fiend. Oh, wow, Grapple's really a good one here. So the big trick is that Grapple's the one that's incredible late game, whereas, like, I like the Gather the Pack in the early game because it digs deeper.
It digs deeper and can grab 2.
Anyway, let's go ahead and set up the wall, as it were.
Spiders! You have Declaration in Stone? No?
Well, Rebel
Well, maybe. They could have it. Okay, they do not have it.
Yeah, there's no black sources in here. It's just a pile of reach.
Let's see what we yank. Gee, I wonder what we're picking this time, Grandpa.
Sounds good to me. I left up Elder Deep Fiend too. I can sack Ishkana to do it. I don't want to
sack Ishkana to do it, and then grapple with the past to pick up Ishkana. Like in the same turn.
Graphstone is self. You can't get it off of your opponents there.
That might be something we're doing.
What?
I don't know. Nah, casting Emrakul also triggers the.
Yeah, if I want to trigger Kozilek's Return, I can. I don't want to end step this because I don't actually have any cards I want down there. 5 card types. I have 8 mana. Okay.
You may attack with Ishkana, since it's going to die to Kozilek's Return.
And my Kozilek's returning.
I don't think we need to, actually.
I can run their team into my team.
We can run our team and we lose a spider, and they lose their board.
Yeah.
Like Thalia's Lieutenant runs into Emrakul, Knight of the White Orchid runs into Ishkana, and then Dragon Hunter runs into 2 spider.
Waiting for them to pay costs.
Do they have the Stasis Snare?
No, they have to do this.
They have to, or else, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they have to do that first, or else they lose their,
Well, they were going to lose it anyways, because we would just cast it after combat.
Yeah, so anyway. So now...
I guess we're picking no now.
Yeah, because it can't function. So that again, that's the cool thing about Kozilek's return is now they're both still in the yard.
Mailman, that is an excellent idea. We lose no spiders on the attack if we can do that.
Yeah, I can. I get to assign all the damage. So nice. Ah, nuts! I'm 1 mana off the play I want, which is the Declaration in Stone, the Needle Spires. But
Should we this?
I want to spend this. Like this needs to be spent because it can't be in their hand. I'm going to spend it.
Thalia's lieutenant.
Yeah, like Thalia's lieutenant, and then just block the other two.
Do we crack the clue to see if we draw something we can waste?
I don't think there's anything we can waste on one.
Sure. We just force them to waste 2 mana on their next turn then.
Oh, am I sitting? Oh, right. We don't live in a world where. Oh, that's weird. What the hell? Oh God, help.
We don't get to. When this happens, you have to quit Moda. Remember?
No, it's fine. It's fine. We got out. Okay. But no, so you used to be able to do that before the M10 rules changes. So, before M10 rules changes, you used to be able to just go like 1/1/1 on the damages sign. But after M10 rules changes, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, you basically have to blocking order and then deal damage down the line. Unless your creature has Death Touch. Anyway, Mindslaver is strong.
They did that to make things like excruciate worse.
It's funny because it was like a stealth, like it made Pyroclasm style effects worse because you couldn't like deal damage like split and then Clasm effect. I can still deal all the damage to the first creature. You are correct. I can just overflow on one guy. Like the way blocking order works is I have the option once I've dealt lethal damage to creature 1 to go to creature 2, but it's still an option. Mindslaver is our opponent. I think Mindslaver just basically gives all creatures banding, right? Like,
oh, definitely. You think Full Blib will be able to pull out
against the Chem Master? Oh boy,
against Chem Master.
They're still in game 1. I wonder what Fubwib is playing then. Like, it's got to be one of the
Howling Mine.
Howling Mine, they'd be dead. Well, the game would be over, Like, there's no way a game goes 25 minutes with a Howling Mine hanging out.
Unless you don't draw the Howling Mine.
Yeah, but then you lose, right? Like,
I don't know how that deck works. I just assume I have old memories of Turbo Fog, my friend. I do not know what anything is. I'll look at the deck since I have the opportunity. If I can find it.
I gotta take a headset. There we go. That's better.
Okay, Jace, Thing in the Ice, Thermo Alchemist, T-Voice, Incendiary Flow as Volcanic Hammer.
Okay.
Collective Defiance, Fevered Visions, then Counterspell, Bounce, Shock, Lightning Axe, Fiery Temper.
So Seymour's asks what my opinion of the deck I'm playing is. I like it. It's one of the more interesting like decks I've played in a standard format because it feels a little more busted than normal. I think that's part of what Emrakul does, Like, I guess I don't associate like having to care that heavily about your graveyard as a standard effect, Most standard decks don't give a crap about their graveyard or give minimal craps about their graveyard because Wizards doesn't like printing very strong graveyard effects. It's why I like this deck a lot because I like decks that do that. One of the last decks I played in a standard event was the Resurrect that picks up that has flashback.
Unburial Rites.
Unburial Rites. I was like,
you play like Unburial Rites and then shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ways to put it and the creature you want to put into the yard, and then you just cast it.
Yeah, it's rare though to have a deck that cares about the graveyard. Yeah, and yes, like Delve exists, and that was a thing but Delve is more of a like a binary on off.
Yeah, he didn't actually care about the cards in your yard, whereas we have two different varieties of pseudo threshold in our deck. So
Emicrul is incredible. Like there was a very heavy like when the set was spoiled. Like Emicrul was one of the cards that got like kind of knocked around a lot because it's like, well, it hands your opponent a time walk, and
it's because of that, and it's because people seemed to like not read the first line of text on the card.
right, the fact that it's not actually a 13 mana card, it's actually like 8 for 7 for us, but 8 is a pretty average. I have at least a bit of so that it's completely sidestepping here. Kaz has his set, and all of these cards that he's made for his set, and like everybody knows about Arya, like, and by everybody I mean the like 10 people who watch like everything me and Kaz does, if even like let's say 6. So anyway, but there's a second Arya set, and one of the cards in it is just called Othanope's Gift, and it's your opponent takes an extra turn after this one, you control that turn. And we futzed around with that card a lot because that effect is way more powerful than you think. Like, yeah, your opponent's like the Emicrul Time Walk is incredible. Is I guess what I'm saying,
Yeah, that just sounds like Slaver to me. Not gonna lie.
Well, it had
It was an Ope's gift.
Well, it hands them. They take an extra turn in between the two turns, and it RFG'd itself. Is there a link to Arya? Sure.
Probably somewhere. You can read very, very, very awful and very, very, very good cards in Arya, such as Reformed Highwaymen.
Scroll down on that. You'll get to see all the stuff that Kaz has together for it. It's all that's.
You'll also see a very good picture of a gorilla.
Yes, you will find a very good picture of a gorilla. You'll also find a number of excellent art in here. Anyway, that's.
I mostly remember the gorilla.
I like the gorilla a lot. Like, shout out.
Thoughts is like the coin that doesn't give you a mana.
But yeah. Anyway, the point being, Emicrul is incredibly powerful and will stay incredibly powerful. It's the thing is it's incredibly powerful, and it might be one of the most like skill testingly incredibly powerful cards in Magic currently. Like on a fact or fiction level, sort of like skill testing. Where it's like you Emicrul a person's turn, and they like sometimes it's going to be very straightforward. I'm just going to play all my removal on all your cards, and you lose. Then sometimes it's like, well, you have 3 creatures and like a number of like there's some like planeswalker abilities maybe, and some cards that like you have to weirdly decide, like, do I dig for other options? Do I like what do I kill here? What's the biggest threat that you have?
It's like the polar opposite of old Emrakul, which is the simplest card to play with in the world. Because it's just a card that says Annihilator 6, haste, draw a card on it.
Mm-hmm.
Also untap all your lands. Which, pretty simple. Turns out all you need to do is, like, destroy 6 of your opponent's permanents and things go well for you.
That second part is maybe the biggest thing with Emicrul. Like, So my current experience with Standard, as you may notice, I'm quite rusty playing these. Like I've made a number of both like sideboarding missteps or like just like sort of play missteps, because Standard is not a format I play. Like you see every time I play Standard, I stream it. It's the Gauntlet.
Yeah, that's all I know.
The watching the Pro Tour though, I like watching the top 8 of the Pro Tour, and there's a point where Owen Turtenwald's playing LSV. And Owen plays Emicrul, and just has to tank for something like feels like 10 minutes, like just looking at LSV's options. Like, oh god, like there's 4 creatures. I need to decide what to kill. I have 7 mana and 4 or 5 cards available to me. Like, what is actually worth doing? Do I actually want to play the Reflector Mage to bounce my Emicrul right now? Like, is that worth doing? Because Reflector Mage's ability says until your next turn, you can't
Yeah,
play the
so if
card
you
that bounced.
reflect your mage Emrakul, now you just basically get to cast again and Slaver again.
Right. But then you don't
But
have the 13.
you don't have the 13/13. But you're not going to have it anyways, is the trick there. Because of Reflector Mage, right?
Right. But then you spending that 3 mana on that means you're not spending 3 mana on something. Like, it's
There's trains of thought to be followed here.
and the biggest thing is it's a train of thought you have to follow that. So a lot of in Magic, Magic is a game that builds. Every card happens one at a time. So if you and the other player are in the game, your experience is outside of the first turn where you draw 7 cards. Every turn past that, there's only one thing being added, one at a time, to the board. So the board slowly builds, and you can mentally keep track of that. When you play Emrakul, you all of a sudden gain access to a large amount of information that has to completely change how you're thinking about that entire board. Like seeing 5 cards in your opponent's hand and being like, oh, how does this change? What are their threats? Do they have, okay, are their threats in hand more important than the threats in the board? Like it's complex.
It's especially complex if for some reason you've played Emrakul and have untapped lands and things you can do. Like, what if you just have you're doing all of that, you have an island untapped and a Dispel in hand that you boarded in. Like, that adds more shit to it.
Yeah, so it's a complex play. But Emrakul is a card that I have been heavily behind. Liliana's the one that I thought was kind of a joke and turned out not to be because I underrated it. Basically, Liliana's the first Planeswalker I've ever seen that people play almost exclusively for the ult.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It sort of pings for a couple turns, and then, you make a bunch of 2/2s. And it's a card that can only exist because of how crappy Burn is. The card does really, really well right now because there's no 4 damage burn spell.
There's Collective Defiance. That's the biggest and that's a strong burn spell.
It is a strong burn. Collective Defiance is a pretty strong. I can't get behind it though because it's a sorcery.
I know it's still strong even as a it's still strong as a sorcery because of its flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
New Liliana Zombies for Days, you're correct. There are a number of decks, even the Cat Pack deck. Exquisite Firecraft is 4 damage for 3 at sorcery speed, yes. The Cat Pack deck plays Liliana's, but it doesn't play any creatures for the -2, and it just uses the +1 to kind of ping, stave off creatures, kill 1 toughness creatures, which aren't in vogue because of Liliana almost existing, and so all it's in there for is the possibility to slow down your opponent slightly, pretty more than slightly actually. That's kind of the big thing with Liliana is it comes down early, has a lot of loyalty, and will gain you a bunch of life.
Because it forces you, the -2 power on it, and it threatens creatures in combat. If you get damage on a creature, you can be able to zoop it with the -1 toughness, maybe. It's a pretty flexible card. It's just... It sort of has the problem a lot of Planeswalkers have nowadays, is that it's incredibly straightforward.
It's less, so it's less straightforward than...
for the new Jace, it's less straightforward than that. Which is...
new Jace or Obnix. Obnix is the most boring Planeswalker in existence.
Even new Sorin is boring as hell though. He doesn't. Sorin is correctly costed and correct effects and completely there on every single line of text in it. It's you pay a 6 mana for this and you get this and and then you know they can make cool things because I really like that walker that's in the new conspiracy set because that's a interestingly designed Planeswalker. It doesn't really have an ultimate, and it doesn't really have any way to gain loyalty. It's
well, it's not only the new Planes. What's her name?
I don't know. I'll look it up right now. Kaya Ghost Assassin.
Kaya, yeah. Kaya is really great because she's not only like really cool, like as far as like a design of a planeswalker goes, but also like the design of the planeswalker informs the flavor of the character. She's an
Can't
assassin.
gain loyalty.
Yeah.
She's loyal to no
Well,
one. She makes opponents discard cards. You draw
I don't.
cards.
It's not as much like that part of it. I like the part that you have to pay in blood to keep her around. Like, she gets damaged, she's like, look, I'm gonna leave here in like 10 minutes if you aren't gonna pay up. And then you're like, fine. You get out the blood and hand her another blood, and she's like, alright, I'm good for like, you know what, I'll stick around for like another day or two, it's fine. She's not, see, the thing is, I assume that killing ghosts is killing spirit tokens, and she's really good at killing spirit tokens.
Well, you can't really kill Ghost Dad, is the thing. So, like, all she does to Ghost Dad is take him for his walk. Like, her and Ghost Dad go to the Ghost Quarter Park and go like, and do the thing.
This is the card that we are currently talking about.
Yoink!
Oh, you beat me to it.
I was looking at the card.
Yeah.
So
was I, but I went and pulled the image off instead.
The only thing wrong with this Planeswalker is she only sort of leaves your card frame. Tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
Hair just
That's nice.
It's a problem Soren often has if you look down at the cards below.
Soren's hair just barely leaving the card frame.
Mm-hmm. Like, not even his sword.
Not
His
sword
doesn't get to leave the card frame, but his
heck?
head does. Like, the top of that sword should be poking up between the words Lord and of Innistrad.
Yeah, what the heck? Out of new cards today, there's two that are really exciting to me. Number one is the Fire Arena that has Koth on it, because that's super cool. Like, it's a Fire Arena that's, like, new Phyrexian Arena. Which
It's just Phyrexian Arena with Koth on it fighting some Phyrexians.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Koth in, like, years, so, you know.
Koth's dead.
He ain't dead on there. He might be dead, but he ain't dead yet. The other card that's more exciting from a gameplay perspective is Recruiter of the Guard, which is a Imperial Recruiter in white with a changing power for toughness. It's a really good creature tutor.
It gets a lot of the same creatures Imperial Recruiter does, and this card is not going to cost like $700. So you might see it in some lists.
The thing is it doesn't grab very specific. It doesn't grab Painter's Servant, you know.
Does not grab.
It doesn't.
That's true.
It does grab, like, I guess if you were doing like a Kiki, something like that, it can grab Kiki still. But like, you know. Oh yeah, the Desertion reprint is really cool because they kept the Richard Kane Ferguson art, which frickin' rules, because like Richard Kane Ferguson hasn't done Magic art in like forever, so it's really nice to see it back. Like, I think Eventide was the last time we had Richard Kane Ferguson.
Like that Richard Kane Ferguson.
But yeah, so those are the ones that like are kind of big as far as like getting printed in here. I guess Burning Wish getting a reprint is pretty cool too. But that's like
not a lot of people care about Burning Wish, but it's nice. I like the card.
Same.
Hallowed Burial, I guess, is also cool.
Yeah, it doesn't get Dreamstalker either. It doesn't get the Allurin combo pieces. It doesn't get all of them. Like, Benak, we wanted a fair Wheel of Fortune. That was the specific reason we printed that card. We wanted, like, this was, like, that card was put in the set, obviously, like, 3 years before we had seen anything with, like, Pokemon cards, so the fact that it is just Judge flat is just a coincidence. We wanted a card that was both, like, card draw for you, but could be disruption against a control deck. So, like, if there's a control deck with 7 cards in hand, you play Fake Wheel, and they go to 4. I think Fake Wheel might be pretty damn powerful.
Right, yeah, they made a Wrath so that the 5-mana wizard can't be Wrath. They made Arcane Savant can be a Wrath of God.
Yep, they reprinted Hollow Burial for it. Which is super nice.
Like, you have to open 2 rares for that to happen.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, how do you feel about putting Arcane Servant in Cube? Like, I haven't done conspiracy cards in my Cube outside of, like, DAC. Like, DAC got put in there because DAC was pretty cool. Like, I'm not even asking about conspiracy card type cards. I'm actually asking about the weird, like, draft ones. Are those worth putting in a Cube? Like...
That is really hard to evaluate, and I think the biggest question it would have to fall upon is, what do the people who are going to play your cube think? I would be okay with it, but some other people might not be okay with you basically being able to... Because the power of Arcane Savant is not so much that it's a blue Wrath of God, but it can be blue Wrath of God. It can also be blue Flame Tongue Kavu. It can be blue Bold Drifter.
Okay,
like
Golden Pineapple, that's kind of what I thought about with Arcane Servant, is that it makes it so you do weird sniping with your... Also, I don't like the card frame on Arcane Servant, because that looks like an Esper card frame to me. What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
that looks like an artifact creature to me. What's going on?
The reason they do that is everything that is a conspiracy type card has that card frame. Like anything
Yeah,
that
but it
anything
looks...
that keeps track of like...
It looks
It's
way
like
too
there to
close
remind you that you have to
Esper.
keep... It does look close to Esper, but it's why it's got the filigree on it. If you look at one of the colorless or like one of the green cards, it's very obviously not an Esper one. It's the blue and the... I don't even think the black one doesn't look that Esper either, but the blue one sort of does. The filigree on the black one pops a bit more than it does in the blue.
So yeah, my cube right now doesn't have any of the draft matter cards in there. Like we've played that a lot, and it's just a normal cube.
I think if you were to add Arcane Savant, you should add 2 or 3 other draft matter cards and like ask people like, hey, do you want to play with draft matter cards or not draft matter cards? Then maybe have like some substitutions.
I could set those to the side if I actually wanted to add those. You're right. Like it's definitely like I could add those if I wanted.
I guess the other thing is, are you willing to go out of your way to get an Arcane Savant?
It is likely I will draft this set in person one time.
So, how about we'll leave it up to that. If you open and draft an Arcane Savant, you can put it in your queue. If you don't,
I did that.
Sorry, mate.
I did that with Conspiracy. I drafted it like one time, and I opened Pernicious Deed, Stifled DAC, and I was just like, I'm done, right? Like and a Council's Judgment.
Just open $40 worth of cards. Why don't
like,
you?
some of those were out of the prize packs, but like it was like I got all the cards I cared about. It was like Council's Judgment and DAC, the 2 cards from the set I actually wanted for the cube, and then like also a Deed and a Stifle. And I'm just like, sure, these are also good cards. Like my Deed is English because I finally opened an English Deed, so I could replace my Japanese one.
I think the conspiracy type cards would work better in like a cube more devoted to that kind of gameplay.
So
like maybe a cube you're supposed to draft for conspiracy drafts.
I was going to say a multiplayer, like a cube where you're drafting for a 4-player multiplayer game seems much different and much more made for these sort of effects.
And then you can include a whole bunch of cards that don't make it into normal cubes that sort of like let you play diplomacy.
Well, because like think of if you drafted Sovereign's Realm in the cube, how bullshit that would be. Because that card is obscene. In like a cube, because it says you mull to 5, but all your cards in hand are basic land, and by basic land I mean Utopia basic land, like they're everything.
Yeah, and we had that same discussion about the Cube of Commitment conspiracy.
Is there anything revealed in the set that isn't draft related I would want for cube? Let me take a look right now. I don't recall anything standing out immediately.
I guess if you wanted a Hollow Burial or a Burning Wish.
I own Hollow Burial, and I don't want a Burning Wish in cube.
I think any card that mentions Monarchy on it is non-applicable.
Is maybe Recruiter of the Guard then? If like that might actually be a playable in the cube, because there's a lot of. I'll keep that one in mind. That's right now. That's the only one.
It's a powerful card that's very easy to make better by flickering.
Right. Everything else in here, I either already own if it's a reprint, or don't care about if it's not. At least from what I see.
I guess
Monarch is totally legal in eternal formats. You're correct.
It is. Unless they make it a point to
No,
specifically ban them, they won't.
they did specifically say that this set was legacy legal, and sometimes you might see a Monarch card in legacy. Like it is possible.
Are the conspiracies legal?
No,
The other conspiracies weren't.
no, conspiracy card types are specifically not legal in constructed formats.
Ah, that's what I was thinking.
Like, I'm sorry, yeah, I think even in all, like, unless, like, your friends decide it's time that everybody's doing that, but, like, the thing is, conspiracies outside of a draft are actually pretty busted, because you could just be like, well, I start the game with 4 copies of 12 different conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
And so all my spells cost, these specific spells cost 4 less to play. These 4 specific spells have, when I cast a copy, search my deck for a copy. Like, basically, you could make, like, a Chandelar deck with that.
Yeah. Also, go to the new spoilers page and go down until you see the October F&M promo. The Rise from the Tide.
Yeah, Rise from the
It's
Tides.
worded weirdly. Is that normal for promos?
No, so what happened was that got shown off, and Wizards went, oh shit, we weren't supposed to show that off because they were changing creature token generation rules in Kaladesh. Not like the rules specifically, just the wording. Basically, they were giving it a, like, enters the battlefield style new wording. So
Yeah.
of create rather than place, because they wanted it very, very apparent that it is making a card out of nothing, rather than like, put a 2/2 into play. I should put this bear from my hand into play. That sort of thing. So so in Kaladesh, they're changing the wording of creature token generation to create rather than put a, to make it, you know.
I was just wondering if it was worded weirdly or if that was like a thing. I expect either one. I'm okay with the wording change. I don't. It doesn't need to happen. It also doesn't disrupt anything by happening. The only disruptive thing about it is that it makes older cards slightly harder to read in comparison. Which you're going to have to explain to new players for a while that, oh, these both mean the same thing. They just changed how it's worded.
I think that's a fair cost because the wording is more clear.
Mm-hmm. I know that happened for a fair amount of time, at least with some of the people I knew, when they changed, when they made the enter the battlefield text.
Yes.
From what I used to be.
They already do have an implied under your control, because, like, I'm looking at Gideon here, and Gideon's wording is, put a 2/2 white knight ally creature token onto the battlefield. That's the end of the sentence.
I asked that ages and ages ago, due to my Varchild's War, Varchild's War Riders type deck. And basically, unless it explicitly says under target player's control or under an opponent's control, it's implied to be under your own control. Mm-hmm. By the way, Varchild's War Riders is super cool, and you should play it.
Whoops,
Also, if you were going to make like a cube to be drafted in a multiplayer format, include Varchild's War Riders in that cube. I'd play it.
Man, Varchild's War Riders.
2 mana, 3/4s, man, with Rampage.
They have Trample too?
Yes.
Okay.
The old decks included Lure.
Everybody get in front.
Block this Varchild's War Riders. Also, you got to play Berserk back in the day. Remember that, kids?
Rampage has a number attached to it. So you have like Bushido or
I guess we'll explain what Rampage is. Weird. You don't see it anymore because it's stupid.
What's a more modern mechanic with a number attached to it? Scry. So it has its own number attached to it.
How it used to work was you have like Rampage X. This creature gets +X for each creature blocking it after the first.
Yeah, after the first.
No reason. They've printed Rampage effects that don't have that rider on it. They haven't done it in like 10 years. I think the last one I can think of is Beastmaster's Mage Mark.
it's very rare that they make those. Prowess does not have a number attached to it, sadly.
It's not.
But I think that's sort of to the benefit of the keyword. However, it does annoy me to no end that that card in Dragons was not printed with prowess. That's lame. So, man, they are in game 2, and it's at 52 minutes. The game actually factually has to end within like the next 30 seconds here, right? Like, are we on? Yeah, we're on 50-minute match time. Like, they aren't even in sideboard 2. Like, somebody's in a timeout here in like a minute.
Like, I'll just show you Barchild's War Riders, and you'll come to understand one of the reasons this is not a card that would get printed anymore. For one, it's got cumulative upkeep text, and that's a big line.
Yeah.
And for two, it has to explain... Man, remember when they thought players were too stupid to understand Trample? Looking at you, 8th edition. And then they have shit like this in their game.
I'm not sure how they're actually in game 2 right now, because, like, at 53 minutes, somebody should have ran out of match time. Okay, oh, they were in sideboarding. Okay, so it's 1-1, and they have 3 minutes left in the round. Somebody's gonna time out. This is just gonna be them hitting F6 as fast as possible to try to time the other person out.
I mean, I've seen you bite the bullet before.
Yeah, I have.
What is the more notable cards with Rampage? There's only like, don't say Old Fogey. There's only like 8 of them.
I was gonna say the one that got reprinted in Gaia's Liege.
Crawl Giant got reprinted in Time Spiral.
Yeah, that's the one. Not Gaia. What's the Gaia's one I'm thinking of then? Gaia's Avenger? No.
I think Gaia's Liege did get reprinted. It just doesn't have.
Oh, it's not the one with Rampage. Sorry. I got a correct reprinted card, just not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, target land becomes a forest. Amazing.
It's an old man with horns.
I really like Gaia's Liege because it's old man with horns. It's just this old man who likes the forests.
Yeah, so it's probably Craw Giant. That's the most reasonable. I guess there's Balduvian Warmakers.
People are naming the Elder Dragon that has Rampage.
There's a Wrathy Berserker, which was misprinted when it was made in Legend, so it's just lowercase Wrathy Berserker. It's a 5-mana 2/4 with Rampage 3. Gabriel Angel Fire. Does that have... During your upkeep, Gabriel gains one of the following abilities until end of turn. Flying, First Strike, Trample, or Rampage 3.
I think I know which one of those I'm picking, by the way.
Probably Flying for your 7-mana 4/4.
Yeah, my 7-mana 4/4. Sweet. It's like Platinum Angel. That's a good card, right? There's a monstrous card in this set.
Yep, there's a monster, the Domesticated Hydra.
They're literally going to go ahead and admit monstrous exists after, like, the... Anyway.
After what? They printed monstrous again, just for you?
After they did fake monstrous in...
No, that's literally the words on the werewolf cards. It's monstrous, loses all colors, gains these abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call the Hydra cute because I hate all Hydras. I hate Hydra as a card type because they force it down your throat. It's like every set they have to make a dragon, and every set they have to make a Hydra. Even sets like Innistrad get dragons for no reason. Well, Commander 2015 was not after the printing of werewolves.
Right.
Specifically, Jens is being rancorous in regards to how all the werewolves from Eldritch Moon are just monsters. Now, what I want to see is them print a tribute card again.
Oh man, is Calumny? Is that the giant lady? The like lady who's a double striker?
Calumny, Disciple of Erois, is that lady. She is not a monster, though.
Right. But that's Calumny's champion, right? That's the... Yeah, okay. Whatever. I had the right thought there, because I was Just thinking of Calamine. The
Calme's champion is a 5 mana 5/5 vigilance with monstrous 3 for 5 double white. When it becomes monstrous, exile all artifacts and enchantments.
all
It's a
right, here
good
we
card.
go.
Okay, we're back to real
Hey,
magic.
look at this.
And we get. This is a keepable hand.
This doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad about keeping this one.
This is also a mulliganable hand. This could go either way.
Like, I guess I have a turn 4 Elder Deep Fiend, but it doesn't do anything. Oh boy. Yavkos puts my opponent on one of like 2 or 3 decks. Traverse the Ovenwald even less.
Here we go. Okay. Give me the traverse. Actually, no, it puts it in a couple decks.
Well, how about Yavimaya Coast combined with it?
During a cross-reference. Not this one. Could be that one. Not that one. Our opponent is 4-color Emerge, I believe.
Well, we're gonna pass turns doing nothing. They're gonna grapple at unstep? Yep.
They're playing a deck similar to ours, only they're playing Prized Amalgam, Stitchwing Scab, Jace, Nissa.
From what I just saw there, it looks like they're playing blue-green, no other, like... Also, Jace is pretty good with this setup. That's pretty powerful as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Nissa Vastwood Seer, which is basically a Pilgrim's Eye, but bigger.
4-color Emerge, what are their actual Emerge creatures? They're just playing 4x Elder Deep Fried.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Okay, we need to draw anything that isn't a land at the mo, because, like, the continuous land drawing here is not very beneficial.
This is kind of like an iffy keep, and this has made this awful.
Yeah, like, this was one of those, like, the 7 looked iffy, and then the 10 was 3 more lands, in a hand that already had 4 plus a Pilgrim's Eye, so we'll hopefully be able to pull out of this. We've seen the deck be able to pull out of some good, fine places, so...
I was, like, assuming we would draw something to do in between casting Elder Deep Fried, but I should not make assumptions, I guess.
I'm gonna say it does not look like it. Where is the... Okay, gather the pack.
Revealed 5 cards.
Kozilek's return into the yard, and I can't see what you picked there. You picked the Jace?
And here comes Jace.
Alright, 1 second here. I need to scroll around in here and find the deck list.
It's
there we are. It's
color
literally the bottom one. Okay.
There's our friend. Our options include play that thing, or try to fog them, or try to, like, on upkeep. They get to flip Jace, but...
There's no stopping that.
Mm-hmm. Like, we tap 3 lands in this, huh?
No, why Nissa?
Oh, right, we have a 5/6 in play.
Right.
So, yeah, let's tap everything.
I'm doing it here to prevent them from doing any casting.
You could tap Nissa if you wanted to kill Jace.
That'd be fair. Oh boy. Or not. There's actually no way I'd be able to kill Jace now with Haunted Dead coming down.
Jace could just plus to not die.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the text on that haunted guy? Haunted lady?
Discard 2 cards, but return it to play tapped. But you get a 1/1 flyer. Discarding a prized amalgam and a Stitchwing Scob. Okay. I understand where we are now.
I believe the term is honked.
Yep. And then prized amalgam comes back. That is the literal worst card I could have drawn.
I believe this game is perhaps referred to as over.
Yeah, this is like super bad.
Like, we need to get a Kozilek's return in the yard and then a way to zoop it. Like, that's the only hopes we have. To spirit jump it? Yeah. He could flash back out of the pack or grapple if he wanted to.
He probably will get grapple.
I think, yeah, we cast the... Do we cast the Grafstone? Like, it doesn't do anything in our hand, but it also doesn't do anything in play.
It does literal nothing. Like,
I guess if Gnarlwood Dryad dies, it taps for green.
so this is what this deck looks like when you don't have enablers. So I think I know how to mulligan a little better with this. That hand is like,
Yeah. That was probably my fault. I tricked you into listening to me again. When I saw, like, a mediocre-looking hand, I was like,
I think this deck actually just literally doesn't function if you don't have one of those 12 like in your opener.
Mistakes were made. We got to learn.
Yeah, because our
Planet is traversing the Uvenwald, it looked like.
no, they're grappling.
Oh, grappling. I guess traverse would also be...
Fuck.
Okay.
Alright, 2 more prized amalgams.
Yeah, I think you should
Lumbering
just keep,
Falls.
like, staple the chat to the side if you can. I think that's the only way we're going to get the... Like, I don't know how to anchor it. There, yeah, you click and drag it.
I hate it because it makes the in-play smaller.
Yeah, it does, but... You should attack with prized amalgam.
Yeah, Rise.
It's just going to be... It's just free real estate. Yep.
Like, yeah, that's basically it. Is I am too used to not playing constructed decks.
I am basically the worst. It's great.
God, even like attacking with Elder Deep Fiend means that his Haunted Dead dies and he gets to bring back all his prized amalgams and
Maybe we just don't attack then. What happened?
emerge.
He's emerge. Okay.
He's tapping because that costs 4, by the way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the trick with this deck too, is how powerful all those in
Say yes.
combination.
Say yes to Kozilek's return.
We're dead. Like,
Yeah, we're hosed.
I'm out of here.
Another land.
Okay, let's try literally anything else.
Any changes to make? Does shock do enough?
Against Jace.
Shock does kill Jace. Kills Jace dead. Oh.
This is a matchup where I want my own Jace.
Maybe. Like, what are all the modes on Jace again? It's like -2 power.
Bring in summary dismissal for certain.
Yeah, to counter their own Jace, their own returns, and also the creature triggering it.
Also Emrakul and the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have not drawn Chandra. She's only a one of. I don't actually think. I don't know if the Gnarlwoods are good in this match. Is the trick?
Like a Din Protector and maybe a Shock.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Do we want a Jace? What would we cut for Jace? Okay, cool.
Piece of garbage right here.
There we go.
I want the summary dismissal is an answer to Emrakul. Would you like to play first? Yes. I see a grapple. Okay. So we have an enabler. Also, like, we can color fix and play Pilgrim's Eyes. That goes a turn.
It just hold up stuff.
Yep. Play the grapple.
It just new to grapple.
Yeah, I'm fine with. Well, it picks up land or creatures, so the chances of it like fully missing are pretty low.
Okay, there's their Skull Snake.
Den Protector, Wretched Griff, Forest. Kind of like Wretched Griff here.
Yeah, Wretched Griff off the Pilgrim's Eye is rather good. Picking the Den Protector's sort of like picking the
Wretched Griff, but like in the future.
Way slower.
Is that fine?
It's 5 mana to do the regrowth on, like 3 to play down, then 2 to morph. Is it 1 green to morph up?
Yeah, well, it's green 1.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Well, we say that backwards.
Oh yeah. Because I don't actually care about the land because of these. Because Wretched Griff would be 3 to play off of that. Would just be a trigger on my Ko's return, but I have to cast the Ko's return. I'll pick the Den Protector.
Yeah.
The specific thought there is that I'm not going to be having... Okay, Shivan Reef. So I could Ko's return, but that's stupid because our opponent just discards a card and, gets me for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab red off of this. And the second one, I'll go grab another green. Actually, it should be the other way around.
Yeah, we need a green more. We already have to blue for summary dismissal.
Yep.
And Snake comes in.
So Ko's return killing the snake is basically impossible. We need our opponent to be empty-handed for that. Okay, well, they've got their enabler. And they get Nissa or Elder Deep Fiend.
They're probably picking the Fiend. Unless they want to Nissa next turn. It's the Fiend.
It's the Fiend. Alright.
Stinky comes in. And then...
Fine by me. So let's go ahead and... I guess play the other Pilgrim's Eye?
Either other Pilgrim's Eye or morph down the Den Protector. Either one.
I don't like morphing Den Protector there.
Yeah, we'll wait. I'll get the Pilgrim's Eye down.
Yeah, and I'm going to play the land that they know about. So here I'm going to go grab the other red source. My opponent's actually off a lot of blue, so they can't just Elder Deep Fiend at random here.
Mm-hmm. They need at least double blue for that. There's the first.
Yep. Are they discarding things? They are. There's Haunted Dead.
When Haunty comes in, that might be a time to return.
Yeah.
Maybe we can block the Noose Constrictor and then do it.
Ooh. Do I just want my... I probably want to catch him mid-combat with that.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We can cast it for... How many... Is it? Can you only sacrifice one creature to emerge?
Yeah, you can only sack one creature to emerge.
Okay, that's a bit sad. You could cast Elder Deep Fiend for 2.
I am going to show them an extra land. Not perfect, but...
Acceptable.
Do I even attack here because the Haunted Dead? Nah.
Let him do it.
Because he's going to end step the Haunted Dead, and I don't want to just lose one for no reason, you know?
Let's see what he discards to the Haunted Dead.
Probably like... Oh, pair of Kozilek's returns, eh? Alright.
Fine by me.
So he has an Elder Deep Fiend and 2 Unknowns in hand. I have Summary Dismissal and a Ko's Return at the ready.
You could...
Double block?
Double block the Noose Constrictor and then Kozilek's Return. He'd have to dump half his hand.
I thought about using the Elder Deep Fiend there, too. That might have been a better line. I'm trying to do the Ko's Return before I Elder Deep Fiend.
Yeah, just to get value. Let's see what he discards here. He has to discard something.
Yav Coast. I want to stop it in combat. So I'm going to do it now so that he can't emerge.
Yeah.
And he would have to discard 2 cards to keep Noose Constrictor around, and I don't think he's going to pay 2 cards for it. He also has to pay 2 cards to get Haunted Dead back, and he only has 3 in hand,
Yeah.
so...
This is like sort of the downside to this deck, is it dumps a lot of cards for his stuff.
Alright. Traverse the Ovenwald, but he's got the...
He's got the stuff for it.
I'm really annoyed I can't see that he has... Like, I know he has Delirium from Sorcery, Instant, Land, Creature, but it doesn't tell me anymore? Like...
Well, he tells you on you. Got Jace.
Alright. Gonna play Jace. Want that Jace dead.
I think if we draw Shock, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, because I can't just play Elder Deep Fiend and kill it. I couldn't even, like, if I wanted to play Den Protector plus Elder Deep Fiend, I could grapple, but that's not going to find me a card that kills it.
I think he just gets his Jace.
So, yeah, I'm just going to put that down and pass.
And what do we pick up here? Wretched Griff?
Wretched Griff is probably good. Grapple and step might be fine to do, too. So, there's the flip Jace. And then he's gonna... Oh, he's just playing a grapple out of hand. That gets him a land, I suppose. It gets him any land he needs. So, like, Sunken Hollow or,
if he doesn't produce a creature, we're off 1 mana.
Yeah, I know. Sunken Hollow to hand, okay. And then he's going to gather. Oh, I just will get to kill Jace, so that's good.
Yeah, kill Jace.
So, let me clear the revealed to dismiss all. Prize to Malcolm, 2 Haunted Dead. Ooh, just Dended Mindbender. Ugh. This thing's a buster.
That's a rather cool card, yes.
And he put the Haunted Dead and the Distended Mindbender in hand. So I'm gonna flip... Actually, flipping this doesn't matter. I'm killing Chase regardless. No,
So do you want to flip it or grapple? Like...
No, I'm not gonna flip it. I want to flip it to get back, like... Flipping it to get back Summary Dismissal would be pretty cool. I do have to... I want the Mindbender countered if I have to. I'm killing Jace with the attack, so I'm not gonna flip up. I'm just gonna go ahead and grapple and step here. Oh, I can get my own Jace.
Do you want Jace?
I think that seems just fine to me. Yeah, because Haunted Dead is 2 to get back, so he can't get the Trump block here. Like, he doesn't have any tricks to save his Jace. I certainly hope he doesn't have any tricks to save his Jace, you know? Like,
yeah, he also can't get back Haunted Dead because it's 2 and 2 cards. Yeah, getting familiar with that guy.
mm-hmm.
So we just... We attack... Do we play Jace?
Yeah, I'm going to play my own Jace, because I can still leave up Summary Dismissal. The big thing is he has all this, like, Haunted Dead, Prized Amalgam triggers, and those are powerful, but I can Elder Deep Fiend to Wrath the board if need be, because I have my own Kozilek's Return. He also has a Koz Return, but he can't... Oh, actually, he could do the whole thing, but again, I still have Summary Dismissal.
Yeah, we have Summary Dismissal. So like...
I think I see what his line is, but I have the counter to it, so it's okay. Like, I think I know what his line is going to be, so I'm just going to play Jason pass. The idea that I have with his line is he's going to return Haunted Dead, and then use the Haunted Dead to play the Mindbender, which I will then Summary Dismiss. And if he doesn't do that, well then...
We'll just have like a 4-mana cancel if
Yeah.
we want it.
Well, this is a pretty powerful card in the match.
Yeah, it is a powerful card. I was just being derisive
Yeah.
to it for no reason.
I mean, cancel doesn't stop Distended Mindbender from ruining, you know, Elder Deep Fiend out of my hand, because it's a cast trigger. It also doesn't stop the Kozilek's Return, either. Are you actually passing here? Like, I can't... I really thought that your line was going to be Haunted Dead, and then Distended Mindbender. Like, you have the mana for that. Okay.
Haunted Dead.
Like,
Okay.
Not crazy here. So he has a Prized Amalgam coming back, and oh, he's just doing that.
What's the name of the card? The Mindbender?
That doesn't have flash.
Okay. Merge 7. Yeah, okay.
Now, we can Elder Deep Fiend here. That's more than likely what he's going to do if he didn't do the Distended Mindbender play. Which is actually pretty strong play. So, this is actually pretty good. Because it makes me have to Summary Dismissal on the wrong turn. I think I just have to do this. Just clear the stack, screw this.
Like,
Well,
Do we try to Traw Island?
well, I can't emerge Elder Deep Fiend. I specifically didn't leave up double blue because I know I can't do that. But I am
Like,
gonna loot.
did you already land for turn?
I want to loot and I want to flip Jace over, and then I might flashback something. I might kill make prized amalgam -2. Like,
I was thinking like if we loot into a blue source,
oh god,
1 mana off.
1 mana off. That's fine. I'll discard Forest.
So he can only pick either Ishkana or Elder Deep Fiend with the and he'll pick Elder Deep Fiend.
I guess I'm just gonna play the land in -2, the prized amalgam. Like, I could minus Jace to, like, play grapple or something like that, but if he's going to distended mindbender me, like, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna minus the,
We do have one trick up our sleeve,
right.
which is we actually flip our morph to pick up Wretched Griff to trigger Kozilek's return to kill the distended mindbender.
Yes, we have a full line that's very effective. I'm gonna leave it back because I value loyalty.
We want to keep Jace up.
Alright, so this should be attack first, and then Distended Mindbender. And Mindbender gets rid of either Elder Deep Fiend or Ishkana, not both.
It has to be Elder Deep Fiend, though. I don't know what world he would pick Ishkana over it, because of the fact that we have our Kozilek's return in the yard.
That's fair. So, attack on Jace.
Like, Spirit definitely comes in. Does he even throw the Amalgam in?
I think he holds.
Like, we could sort of ruin his day if we had Shock.
I'm not flipping it up, is the trick. I'm just blocking. Because he's probably gonna do his own... He might do his own board clear here. So... Yep. So here comes Distended Mindbender. So he's got a bunch of Kozilek's returns, which means I have to flip up the morph now. So I'm gonna flip up this morph. Thinking about it, I actually should have flipped that up and killed the prized amalgam in combat.
Yeah, so that he couldn't do this.
That would have now that I'm seeing this played out, that would have been a much better play.
I thought you had a reason for it. I was putting my trust in you.
I haven't played this. I haven't played this deck enough.
Yeah, I also didn't remember if Den Protector had Morph or Megamorph.
I just haven't played this deck enough, and I'm making tactical errors like that because I'm not remembering all of my options. Anyway, I assume he's going to wrath it out. That was why I assumed he wasn't attacking with the prized amalgam in the first place, because that was a known card. Anyway, he gets to get rid of one of my 3 things here, but he can't stop any of them.
Yeah, we have a full 8 mana, so even if he picks the Wretched Griff trying to be technical...
Well, I feel like... Yeah. Also, like, Jace has flashback options a lot here. I'm in a decent position, even with the Mindbender. He does pick the Wretched Griff trying to be technical.
Okay.
Yav Coast. Is it literally just slam Elder Deep Fiend to Necrotol?
Could do that. Could also...
Ooh, actually...
Use Jace and then pass, and then, like, fog him on... Gyosei him in his next turn.
No, what about Jace get back Grapple, and then get back the Wretched Griff?
That seems fine.
Because I have enough mana for that whole line.
It draws us a card.
Yeah. Well, it also leaves my Elder Deep Fiend, like,
A
alone.
trick, yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, we can't keep double blue up.
Yeah. There's Emrakul. How castable are you? 5 card types.
I mean, we can't cast it immediately, but we could cast it next turn. But then we would just be stuck in the. We'd get punched by the Deep Fiend.
Could play Ishkana instead.
That's a spicy ball.
No, I'm gonna go with the normal plan because I can always pick up. I can always grapple again.
You can always grapple again, or somehow get Din Protector back, and then get Emrakul, or draw another Emrakul. There's like many different plays that are available to us.
So, yes, I'd like to use Kozilek's Returns ability. Yes. Oh, hey, Fire Impulse.
Shock.
I'm
Or
okay.
Bolt, I guess.
I'm okay with Bolt at this point. Because our opponent can do, like, Haunted Dead, Prized Amalgam garbage to get, like, a board back.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still on 5 card types? 5 card types, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so Haunted Dead. Does he have, like, another Distended Mindbender? That'd probably be best. Oh, he discarded another Prized Amalgam, okay. Honestly, if he just does this forever, that's enough to, like, win a game, right? Like...
Yeah.
And here comes the second Mindbender.
That's enough to win a game. Because he gets Elder Deep Fiend and Shock.
And he gets to play 2 Prized Amalgams at the end of this turn. Okay, he did choose to Wrath. And he is going to get rid of... Honestly, I would get rid of... Like, obviously Fire Impulse is completely gone, because that's how the Mindbender works. I assume he's getting rid of Elder Deep Fiend, because, like, there's no way I'd leave that alone. He has no cards in hand, though, so we're...
We have certain top decks that can just basically win us the game.
Yeah.
Like if we draw Emrakul.
I would like Emrakul. That'd be a nice one. Okay, so...
Emrakul costs 8 right now, right?
Right, but the Gather could make that less.
Oh, I guess Emrakul technically costs like 2 because we can grapple to pick him up.
Okay, fine. That does put a Ko's Return in there.
Okay.
So, Ishkana is really good here. Oh, that did put an artifact down there too.
There was already an artifact though.
No, I'm sorry. It put
Something.
What did I put in now? In there? Was it literally sorcery? Enchantment?
It might have just been sorcery.
Why is
I think it was
6?
just sorcery. We didn't have grapple. So that makes it cost 7, right?
What am I missing?
Don't worry about it. We got clock.
Okay, fine.
We play Ishkana here, and then do we just grapple back?
Nah, I'm gonna play a backup chase. I'm gonna minus the Mindbender. Next turn, I'll go ahead and grapple back the Emrakul because I can do that. Because now that it only costs 7, I can just go ahead and play it off of the 7 left over. So our opponent needs a very powerful top deck right now in order to get out of to stop us from playing Emrakul and doing the bad thing. Also, like, with this Jace in play, I can, like, minus this Jace and then reset it to 5 and then, like, have another Jace. Like, it's...
Okay. Does he just have a Kozilek's Return in his hand? It seems fine.
Because it's like killing these isn't super huge at the moment. Okay. Do you have an Elder Deep Fiend?
So what kind of do we? Uh, we yeah, we just do this,
Yeah, fuck this. Let's just...
and I guess we plus Jace on a prized amalgam or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna Co's return.
Yeah, with this ward,
Wait, that was an attack at Jace. Alright, cool. Yeah, you... No, I don't want a Co's return at the Mo. So, yep. We want to do that. Want to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and...
plus that. Then do we just pass?
Yeah, I'm just going to pass. So, I have a pretty cool plan for my turn. Don't
Spiders can attack. Yeah.
need spiders. So, my plan for my turn is pretty cool. He has a Haunted Dead in his yard.
Does it involve like
Oh, shit, he actually has a Elder Deep Fiend? Whoa! Shit.
Wow.
That was not the card I put him on. Goodbye. Okay. God, I can't even Haunted Dead now.
Nope, you can't. It's ruined everything.
Yeah, everything went wrong because of that. So, let's...
Was attacking with the spiders greedy?
Well, that didn't change anything. I just lost a spider because of it. He could have just tapped all my blockers anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, nice.
Like...
Sack Elder Deep Fiend to cast that?
Yeah, sack Elder Deep Fiend to cast that. That's it. That's the only choice I can make. But I have Emrakul. If I attack with Emrakul and, win. Let's get this off the table. And let's use your pain lands. Target opponent, me. Yep. Okay. 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 Oh my God, resolve. Okay, so Emrakul attack wins me this game.
So opponent has to have a way to have that to not happen. They have one. Okay.
I'm gonna say they need another Elder Deep Fiend.
Yes. Okay. So we have to win this next game sort of quickly if we can escape this. Do we have any idea what the hell to do?
I'm just gonna rock it.
Tahiri brought Emrakul to Innistrad by making piles of rocks.
They were pretty tasty rocks.
The rocks were pointy and are bad mono rocks. They're terrible. Very bad.
Oh, I'm good with this.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Lead with Shivan Reef and be like a Spidoo.
Okay, traverse for a basic.
Coax does not answer those 3/3s he keeps summoning, no.
How would Coax answer those?
Folks gets a Eldrazi you control from outside the game and puts it into your hand. It's Eldrazi Wish.
Right. I'm trying to figure out how in the world that would work. Oh,
Okay, Seal in the Moon. Okay.
okay. I'm sitting here like I'm clearly missing something here. Gather the pack, which is what I'm gonna do as well. 5 cards enter your revealed zone.
I
Oh,
guess it's prized amalgam in your hand, which is where you don't want him.
he just didn't choose one.
Ha! Discard a card, mill 5 cards.
I'll return the favor. Ooh, what's good here?
Jace. Any creature being in the yard is fine because we have 2 grapples in their hand.
Yeah, so let's get Jace now. Because, like, on turn 4, I can just grapple and pick up Ishkana. Also, I'm at 3 card types. Alright, Yav Coast. I hope he plays Jace. That'd be a really good... Oh my god!
Trained Armadon, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello!
Do we have Spell Mastery?
Gather the Pack and this is Pilgrimage. We do.
Okay, so we have Shock up if it becomes relevant.
Yeah, we have Bolt.
Or Bolt, yeah, that's what I meant. Bad Bolt. I hate Fiery Impulse so much.
It does a job.
Healing Salve is what its job is.
Yep.
If we do this, yeah.
No, that's not. You misunderstand why I'm doing this. I don't want Elder Deep Fiend coming in and kicking my ass.
Ah.
That's specifically why I chose that line.
Oh man, we might cast Chandra.
Ooh. I'm just gonna play land and pass here.
You can. This is Pilgrimage.
I want to grapple.
Okay. Do you want to? My only thing was this is Pilgrimage just to loot the land you get off of it.
Fair. Like I could actually, let's do Jace now. Okay. Let's go. Gather. And then cast the Gather. Give me the Pilgrim's Eye, sure. Probably shouldn't have taken that, honestly.
Ah.
Alright, so... Pilgrim's Eye is good to go get another color. Wow, hardcast Haunted Dead.
He wants that to die.
Yeah. Give me a Ishkana here.
Yeah, Ishkana seems great.
Mm-hmm. So he wants to, like, Distended Mindbender at me, you know?
And then we just make the spirit have no power, or the Haunted Dead have no power.
Haunted Dead's probably not staying on the board. The hell's this? Like, is he just ended mindbending? That'd be pretty strong right here.
Yeah, but yank away Chandra from us.
Yeah. Definitely want to play Nissa's Pilgrimage next turn here.
Pass. He's going to
Deep
taboo
Fiend?
us.
I would say Deep Fiend right now. Alright, what are you tapoing? Is it all my creatures? Yep, it's all my creatures. Alright. Do I have a deep fiend in my yard? I do not. Okay.
You have Emrakul in the yard, though.
Okay, one of these Nis's pilgrimages is all I get.
Do we just, like...
I'm gonna play a Pilgrim's Eye, I think. Actually, pass?
Actually, we have 6. Do we have an instant in the yard? Yes, Fiery
Yes.
Impulse. So Emrakul costs 7. Do you want to just grapple back? Or is that in case he has a Mind
3,
Spider in his
6.
hand?
Hold on. 3, 6, 9. Da 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 da. I'm doing math on if he can attack me for lethal. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. No, he can't. Alright, so I'm just gonna pass. Because he's gonna discard his hand to go ahead and get back his prized amalgams plus the Haunted Dead. But my team's gonna untap because they'll have no hand left. So. He discarded Distended Mindbender. Ooh!
Wow.
He fucked that up. Nice. He did it wrong.
He did it on the end step.
Yep, he did it on the end step. Guess who's
So
not
they
getting
come back
the
at... Yeah, they come back at his end step,
yeah,
right?
guess who's not getting his things back?
Guess who's a stinky baby? Guess who has no cards in hand, and guess who's actually going to grapple into pass an Emrakul?
Yeah.
It's us. He's killing Jace.
You're in end combat. What's going on? Okay. His own grapple. Picking up Distended Mindbender. Yep.
Which he has to cast now, right?
Yeah, if he doesn't cast it now, then things go very bad.
Now, this will be interesting to see what he takes.
Like, do I grapple
Yes.
now?
If you grapple now, then he just takes the Emrakul, right?
Right, but what if I don't pick up Emrakul? What if I pick up something else?
Okay.
I'm playing funkily around the Mindbender trigger. Also, the Chandra I'm fine losing because I don't think it does anything.
The only thing it would do is 4 damage to each creature and player, and that's not enough.
Okay, so here's those prized amalgams, finally. I'm a bit late to the party, but they're here.
Man, we needed to draw something.
I have to make a bunch of weird chumps. That's okay. These tokens are blank. My life total's 17. Mindbender's basically the best card they have. It's really powerful.
Do we have a grapple in the yard? Yes.
Yeah, that's why I've made the plays that I have.
So Jace should not... We should not chump with Jace.
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
Okay, so we take 6.
Oh, right, it's my clock.
Yeah, just F6, I think.
Yeah, I'm not winning this one. Clock's got me.
Mhm.
Or does it not get me until, like... Okay, there we
Until your
go.
turn. Okay, so you got priority back. Okay. That was very close, though. We had our opponent dead to us on tapping, if we could. Because we could get them down to 13 with their pains and then attack with Immercool.
Yeah, that was the idea there. So, like, the plan was gather the pack. I needed to spend the gather the pack so that they had not enough cards in hand.
Mm-hmm. Or else they could bring Haunted Dead back for a chump.
Yep, for a chump blocker. Well, and then and then the problem was I actually couldn't cast Kozilek's Return, so they actually had a card in hand that I couldn't get rid of.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they actually have red mana in their deck. I think they just discard it and then do it that way. Well, this is fine. This is. I gave bad advice on game 1, and then on game 2, in game 2, you didn't flip the Den Protector because we couldn't remember if it had Megamorph or not.
Oh, I remembered it. It just wasn't a thought
Was that
that
round
I had.
3?
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
it was
it.
Swiss. Wow.
That's it. It was Swiss. 3 rounds Swiss.
It all blended together. We did okay.
Well, I mean, like if I had 1 minute left on that clock, it would have been my game to take. That was just me taking too much time on my actions.
It's Immercool being a little unfair to players in chess clock magic.
I loved it. I'm glad I got to show off how absolutely ridiculously powerful Emicrul is.
Immercool is rather good. I enjoy that. I enjoy that big old lady who looks like a portobello.
Yeah.
I don't actually like her art at all, but the card's fine.
All right. So I hope you all enjoyed. That's standard though. That's showing off some cool stuff going on in standard. So
Here's a question: Is Immercool the second greatest card with 13 power and toughness?
what kind of question is this?
An honest one. Good night, everybody.
Good night.